Yeah, so then I was blindfolded, and like this lady was just screaming. There was like jello all over the floor, and she was screaming so loud that the cops came. And then the cop sees me with my hands in my pocket, and then they're like, "Hey, get your hands out!" And I do, and they're full of mashed potatoes. So then the cops, he wants to see what's behind the car, and that's, hey, welcome to our podcast, Toad House. We're your hosts, Xander and Renee, and we have a special guest all the way from planet Jupiter. We got Rollin.
He's a threat to society. He's just a threat to society. Hey guys, how you doing? It's pretty cold out here in this planet.
So how'd you break your hand?
I broke my hand on tour with Fishbone. It's been fun. Haven't gone to the doctor yet, but soon. I used the wrong lube.
You didn't use. You got the
No lube.
no lube.
Yeah.
Bite the pillow.
Fisting, you know?
Happens.
It happens, yeah.
You're on tour with Fishbone?
I've been on tour with Fishbone, yeah, the last couple of tours. It's been great.
Nice. It's funny because I remember you. I mean, I've known Rollin forever, and
I got all the tattoos from the best tattoo artist
but
in the world.
even before that, I remember you from the
Oh,
local
yeah.
band scene with the ska band Boot.
Boot, yeah.
The world famous.
World famous band Boot.
And then, man, you've jammed with
420 Flip.
420 Flip,
Who else? I think that's it.
or I mean, just all over. Crazy Town.
Crazy Town, Young Dirty Bastard, Ghostface Killer, Malik Yusuf, Little Zane. Fucking too many people.
Nice.
A lot of people.
Oh, that's cool. Have all that experience.
Yep.
Go around
Jack
the
of all
world.
trades too, right?
Jack off of all trades. Yeah.
Just go around the world fisting one country after another.
That's right. Yeah, I think that band was dope. So starting from ska and ending with the ska band, it's pretty cool. You know?
Oh, full circle, huh?
Yeah, full circle. Yeah. And it's kind of weird because it's all fruition. Like everything that I've dealt with when I was in Boot, we used to listen to Wu-Tang or Old Dirty Bastard CDs, and one day they were like, "Hey, can you drum for Young Dirty Bastard?" And I was like, it was like overnight, but I was like, shit, I know all the songs by memory just because I know by ear, so it was easy for me.
Nice.
I just went in there and drummed, and I had a band, a couple kids, or actually Lauren Hill's guitarist, Wadada, and my boy, Hashim Bunch, he's with the Gorillas. So we were up there, and that's cool. We did the last Rock the Bells, actually, 2013. They just had a last Rock the Bells this year. They just started again, so it's pretty cool.
That is cool.
I can't wait to do it again.
Like, yeah, we did the last one, and now we're doing it again this year. Motherfucker, you told me it was the last one.
I know.
Every year it's the last one.
Right.
That's all.
Same thing with Knotfest, right? No. God bless you, Slipknot.
You have a shirt that says the last Warped Tour ever, and I was like, I was there. The next year we'll be in San Diego this year.
Yeah. Every Thursday at the Whiskey A Go Go, I have my own emo show. Get your fucking Kleenex boxes. This is also sponsored by Kleenex. And I have an emo show now that I get all the kids who do like, what is it called? Trap metal, emo stuff. So whoever doesn't have a band, I get my band, and then we play their songs for them so they feel amazing and, you know, can get to the next step. And then after that, they start forming bands and
That's cool.
take it more serious. So it's pretty cool.
So what really happened to your hand?
Fisting someone. I came to El Paso. I went straight to a Jaguar skull. I was like, I think that's not there no more.
20 minutes into El Paso, my hand was broken. I was fuck. Old El Paso.
They got tighter, you know what I mean? El Paso got real tight.
We know that feeling because we have our handies and grandies, and the handy place closed down. Fuck.
Oh, man. Oh, really? Where's that at?
Yeah, we have a friend who likes to go to the massage parlor.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's right across Grandy's.
Oh,
So
okay.
afterwards, after he gets jacked off, he's like, "Oh, Grandy's," and he goes and has a chicken fried steak.
Oh, is it right here on Yarborough? Is it?
Oh, I
Yeah.
know that place. I've been
I know
there.
that place. Yeah.
But now he says anytime he smells fried chicken, he gets a hard on.
Oh man.
So, what's your take on aliens?
I'm gonna take on aliens. Well,
Seeing as you're from Jupiter and all.
I gotta say, before I was known as a conspiracy theorist, and now I'm like, I told you, motherfuckers, you know, because everything has come out.
So now you're a theorist.
Now I'm a theorist. Yeah, it's kind of cool because everything that was like, oh, you're fucking, you know, you're full of shit, and anything about, you know, presidents or everything just came out in the blue, and so now I feel better because everybody calls me and they're like, oh my God, I just saw the news.
You're right.
There is aliens and stuff. I'm so sorry. I that's why I didn't want to be with you no more. But I'm like, it's okay, bitch. But yeah, that happened, and that's pretty cool because it's out there. And then the guy from Blink-182, he's like the forefront of it. What's his name?
Tom DeLonge.
Tom the Strong. Yeah. So and they're doing actually a new record, and so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw that they had the guy from Alkaline Trio for a while, right?
Yeah, he sucked. To me, I don't like that man. I saw them live in Huntington Beach, but to me, I was like, it ain't the same. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, they don't have the same vibe. It
Yeah.
feels different band, basically.
different band. Yeah.
Yeah, like the way I see it, you know, when the government was saying there's no UFOs, I was thinking there is UFOs and aliens. And now that the government comes out and saying they're real, now I'm like, that means they're fake.
There's no. Whatever. Don't trust the government. I don't believe that shit.
Yeah. When I was 13, I was abducted right here in El Paso, Texas, and it was right in front of my house. Basically, I was grounded for 2 years and got out of groundation, and my mom bought me a lowrider bicycle.
What were you grounded for?
I was grounded for some bad shit.
We'll just leave it at that.
You're
Some porno
13.
for pyro shit. By the way, Peter DeStefano, I love you. I just finished my record with Peter DeStefano from Porno for Pyros. It's an emo thing, but anyhow, I got grounded for 2 years, and I had to skate to school and couldn't eat with my parents. But after it was over,
So
with,
what were you grounded for?
They locked you in the basement, or what?
underage sex
Of course.
with the maid.
What'd you think?
Yeah,
Amazing.
with the maid, Conchita. It's true.
And that was the first time I broke my hand.
And so what happened? I got a new bike.
What was his name?
Felipe. So I went to the store to buy my mom Diet Coke, and that was my last thing that I had to do. So I had a lowrider bike, and I couldn't even pedal it, so I, walked it or just pushed it.
He's into lowrider bikes.
You like lowrider bikes?
Got a few.
Nice. So I bought it right out of Lowrider Magazine bike, and it was blue. And I had a friend Victor, who he had a BMX, but I bought the front spokes that are like make it lower, and took off the one that came with the bike, and put it on his fucking bike, and put my sister's little small wheel on his. So now he had like a chopper, and then I had mine, and we went down there, and I had this is back in the day before cell phones, so I had Post-Ex, and I wrote my phone number and my name for any girls who lived at the apartment complex next to 7-Eleven. So I was handing them out. And,
Before Instagram, right?
before Instagram, yeah. I was heavy into it. So I would see everybody walk out with Slurpees, and but how they used to steal and put candy bars inside the fucking Slurpee jar.
Alex would do that. He
Put
still
the
does
top
shit like that.
and fill up the Slurpees, but they'd be like, hey, come to the pool. Got a whole bunch of candy, and they would just like open the thing and then like give me a Snickers bar, and I'm like, shit. But anyhow, my friend, his dad was a cop, so his dad would blow a whistle at 7:15 because he has dinner at 7:30, But back in the day, he used to get whipped with like they get a fucking thing off the tree, and I'd see him at school, and he was like a little cholo, so he would wear a wife beater, but you'd see his back and see like blood stains, and I'm like, shit, what the fuck is that? But it'd whip his ass. So I didn't want him to get whipped because I used to get whipped too. So I was like, shit. I heard the fucking whistle. I got fucking dog ears, so I was like, fuck, get out of here. You gotta go.
Run.
Bought the fucking Diet Coke, and it's like a 3 liter, so these are huge. So I'm holding the bike and pushing down the street, and it's dark as fuck. And I just see a fucking light, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get hit by a car. But this light is fucking massive. And then the light hit me, and then I was I can't pedal. Now the fucking pedals are hitting my fucking shins. I'm all bleeding, and I'm sweating sweating really bad. And I go down my cul-de-sac and hit the fucking window. The fucking window explodes, cuts me. My door opens. My dad's like, "What the fuck? What are you doing? You on drugs?" And he was like, "Oh shit, a UFO." And
Oh
he's
shit!
like,
So your
"Mom."
dad saw it too.
My dad saw it too, yeah. And he was like, "Where's the camcorder?" This motherfucker was this big, the old one. So he went into the closet.
Where's that small camcorder right there?
So that was 7:15 when my boy
Yeah, the
drove
whistle.
off, and it takes like 2 minutes on a real bike to like drive down to my house from 7-Eleven. And so what happened was it was like 9:43 because they were like, "Get the fucking broom, clean this shit up," because I broke the thing. They're like, "You're gonna pay for it? Who's gonna pay for this shit?" But anyhow, on the news, because they were watching the news, but I was like, "What the fuck? It's 9:43,"
Oh shit! So you lost.
So I lost some time, and then I was cleaning, I was like brooming, all full of blood, and I couldn't even talk. I remember they were screaming at me, but I was like, I had no words. But I saw the TV, and it was like, if you thought you seen a UFO, NASA released a weather balloon, and that's what you're seeing. But it was not that. And
Doesn't explain the anal probing I received. What is
yeah,
Yeah. How was your butt?
how was my butt? My butt. Well,
Was it sore?
I took a shit, and all the fucking a bag of Chico's tacos fucking came out. I was like, wow. A to-go order. A double fucking French fries, a hot dog, and the fucking Coke all at the same time.
It came out in the package
Yeah.
as you get it at the
Perfect.
restaurant.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It was amazing. No, but so after that, you know what I mean? That was my story. And I think, how old was I? I think I was 11 at that time. So, no, I was 13.
Yeah, you're 13.
I was grounded for 2 years. I lost 2 years first.
And then you lost 2 hours.
And then I lost 2 hours.
Damn,
and,
so you want that 2 years and 2 hours back of your life, right?
yeah, I've been searching for it. But yeah, after that, Danny Garcia, which he used to be in the band Pissing Razors. He used to play bass. He saw our band, which was Boot, and he signed us to Germ Records and then took us on tour. And so after that, it was kind of crazy because I got abducted. And then before, I couldn't ditch or not go to school. You know what I mean? The police would always come to my house and be like, "Oh, your son was late. What the fuck?" But after that, my parents didn't care, and they just let me drop out and would say, "Shit, he ran away." Because before they're like, "We're gonna arrest you or give you a ticket." But after a guy came and was serious and said, "Hey, your son got talent. We're gonna take him for you," and so that's how that all started. And ever since then, I've been homeless in New York City. I dealt with that.
Man, so no recollection of the 2 hours missing?
Nothing at all. But
even
you know what I did think? When I got fucked up later in life, drinking Jägermeister, it was the same thing. Because I wake up naked somewhere,
6 hours missing.
2 days missing or something, and be like, what the hell happened? People calling me I'm pregnant. And I'm like, I said, that was just last night. How do you get pregnant overnight?
Pregnant.
But yeah, so it's kind of a weird, you lost the time and you don't even know anything. I mean,
No flashbacks, no...
oh, you know what? I did have a flashback because I had a hernia, right? And when they cut me, I said, please, because I went onto this thing and they had a bed and you put your arms down and they fucking strap you in. But I was like, what the fuck? And the lights that they have for pregnancy, like they come in. But I
You
was,
have your legs straddled up like this. Like, what the fuck is going on?
what are you doing? No, so I was like, as soon as they cut me, I said, please don't fucking hold my arms down. I for some reason, I was fucked up in the head. I was like, I'll just hold them here. You know what I mean? And as soon as they cut me, and they had given me, you know, whatever the fuck they gave me, and they cut me, and I fucking sat up. I was like, ah, and they were like, fuck, like, but I was talking about aliens, and they had to like send those nurses and said that they want to quit after that happened. Like, and then I was supposed to, this procedure was supposed to be 1 hour, like from when I get there and go home. But, and so my wife, she had just had my new son, and I came home at 12 midnight, so I went in at 6 in the morning, but they had drugged me. I remember when I was like, ah, and then they just put the thing on me, and I was like, and then I was on a bed, like.
So you think that gave you some kind of flashback?
That gave me a flashback, yeah. I think that was the only thing that and then the doctor and the people were like, dude, you were talking about aliens and stuff. You freaked out these people. And I think that was only $170 that the surgery was. Because I looked at the receipt, but I was like, damn, they fucked me up. But, you know, now they do the surgery where they put a fucking robot inside your body, which I heard about a robot. It lives here, right?
I no longer perform colonoscopies.
You know, they put it. Hey.
Yeah, my thing too is a lot of times when people say stories about UFOs and stuff, I think they seem to humanize everything. Like a friend of mine was telling me a story of a UFO behind him. He was on I-10 traveling to California, and he's like, "Yeah, this thing just pulled up, and the headlights are, blinding us." And I'm like, by him saying headlights, I'm thinking,
right. Well, that's all he knows of.
That's all. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
all that we know. So that it's like when I saw it back in the day. So where I live is, Edgemere. It's like Pebble Hills is probably what it's called, right?
Yeah.
So over there, back when I was a kid, we made our own fucking like BMX racing type of thing in a desert that was nearby. And so the cops would always come and be like, "You can't be here." But, and my neighbor was a cop. But so after a while, I think that, they kind of left us alone. But they used to have helicopters too that would hit you with the light. And then the fucking cop car would come and they'd put you in handcuffs and put your bike on their top of their car and take you home and tell your mom, like, "Hey, there's curfew or whatever."
He's not fucking maids. He's.
Oh no! Who did he fuck this time?
They're like, "Why are you holding a Diet Coke?" I'm like, "Dude, I had to fucking go to the store to get my mom some." You know what I mean? But
did you show up with a Diet Coke?
No, I didn't. It was gone.
So there's some aliens out there drinking.
Those motherfucking aliens.
This is so good.
The aliens got cancer and we fucked. That's why they haven't come back. They're like, "This motherfucker killed us,"
Yeah, so you saved the world.
I saved the world, right? So everybody out there.
Now they're all fat and diabetic.
Tom DeLong, if you fucking want a real story, fucking come talk to me, buddy.
No, it's funny how you say like that. They humanize them because that's all we know, and it's true. Because when you see aliens, they have a head, 2 eyes, a mouth, hands, arms. It's like the same thing. But you look at life, animals.
We are aliens, I think. So I mean, we're just I think that. Basically, I have a picture of a monkey and a woman and then an alien baby, So it's probably what happened. Alien fucked a monkey, then they had a fucking human baby.
They came down and saw the monkeys and were like,
So then why aren't they fucking monkeys anymore? Or are they still fucking monkeys?
I don't know.
Because they're too busy drinking Diet Coke, that's why.
Right? The monkeys don't have Diet Coke.
Fuck that shit.
If they had the real Coke, that used to be made out of cocaine. And that's why everybody's addicted to it. That's why I am too, but we won't talk about that.
How about, so you've toured, the United States and, the world and, all the driving. You ever seen anything out on the roads?
I have a crazy story. We were in Canada, and I had driven from, I think it was Alberta, Canada, to the next place, which was going to be Guelph, But from there to there, it's like 27 hours of driving. And I'm a pretty good driver, so we were driving in the snow. I just kept on driving and driving, and the day came, and I said, "Oh fuck it, I could still do it." Drank coffee, because I guess when you're cold, I don't know. I just felt like we got to get to the next show. I'll sleep when I get there, you know. And the guitarist E.T. at the time, he what's it called? Elias Tanous is his name, but he's E.T. He didn't want to drive because he was not on the insurance. So he's like, I'm not driving. You're fucking cheap. You should have put me on the insurance. and so we went to a Chinese place, which was fucking horrible. Never eat Chinese food in Canada. And so I thought, after a meal, fuck it. I have an hour and a half left to get to our destination. So I said, we're almost there. I'll just drive the rest. Fuck it. Nobody wants to drive.
You've already driven 20 something
I already
hours.
drove 27 hours from a show, from a show like at midnight after it was over, and then now it's like the next day at 7:00 at night or something. So it was. But to me, I just want to get home to my kids and see my family again. So I'd rather drive and make sure that I'm there and I'm awake and good. So the guy says, you know what? Man, you look fucking tired as fuck, man. You should go to sleep. But what the problem is like, I'm driving and I have the radio on, and they're like, what the fuck? Turn that shit off. I can't sleep. But it's like, well, motherfucker, I can't drive, so I'm fucking singing all the emo songs. And, it's crybaby music, so it's fucking hard for them probably to hear fucking screaming and fucking crying about, whatever. Bitches. And then
trying to stay awake. I hate my mom and dad.
Exactly. And so I fucking said to the dude, okay, drive, it's only an hour and a half. So we stop at a donut place, and there's all these trucks, like 50 trucks, and I'm like, what the fuck? This is probably a strip club or something, because what's all this fucking, why are all these trucks here? And it's a donut shop, and there's 2 donuts left. and one sandwich, and all these dudes that are there
waiting for it.
But they're not there for the donuts.
Yeah. So I was like, what the fuck is going on? But we were starving because we had shitty Chinese food, and there was one sandwich, so I bought the sandwich, and I fucking bought both the donuts because I'll buy everything. And I said, guys, we'll share all of this shit.
Lick it and pass it. Lick it and pass it.
And so we did that, had a coffee, and then I had my phone, and they wouldn't let me like text or call nobody while I was driving. Like, oh, get off your phone, get off your phone. So for 27 hours, I hadn't had no contact with nobody, and so I turned back on my phone, and it's like ping, 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 and he's like, hey, turn off your phone, man. Go to sleep. You needed some rest, That's why I'm driving. And I was like, oh fuck, okay, so. Lay down. I put my phone in the fucking, I'm behind the driver. My head's behind the driver. And then I went to sleep for like a minute and a half, and fucking, I hear the loudest explosion in my life. I thought like, oh shit, this is a crazy movie. And then I'm flying inside the van. And a fucking moose is inside the fucking van. Like the face of the moose is inside. It was on TMZ. It was like world news. I was on over 1,000 channels for sure. Like after we did like
you, the moose, and the half-eaten donut.
The last 2 donuts in Canada.
What was crazy is that they had it was mating season. And this is a female fucking moose. But anyhow, it was 21 feet long and 11 feet tall. That's so we hit it. It came in the fucking window, hit my face. Because I was going out, and it was like, boom, hits my face. And then I guess it shit, too, and like the blood, whatever the fuck happened. But 2 band members in the front were full of shit and glass on half their fucking face. And dude's fucking knee was stuck because the hit was so bad that it put the the front of the van was over their body. You know what I mean? So he was stuck. So I got up. The car was on fire, basically. It was.
I thought this was a
It was a Chevy
UFO story.
No, you guys said
Moose.
what was the craziest. But no, this is a great story. So these fucking vans, when you hit and once you stop, it jackknifes itself so you won't flip. You know.
Oh.
So when that happened, the moose flew out, and I'm fucking holding on for dear life to the fucking chair, and the swing of it, like I hit my hip on the other chair, and then like we stopped, and I fell back, and I was like, and I feel like we're tipping, so I'm like, shit, we're at the edge of the mountain, I'm dead, you know. So I saw my kids and everybody in my mind. I said, oh, like I think I'm dead because I'm all full of blood, and I had a huge like piece of hair like on my face, moose hair, but it looked like a broom. Like, you know what I mean? Like how the old brooms look. It's like that coarse, and I was like, what the fuck? I thought like, shit, this is my
Man, that interrupted your what do they call that when your life flashes before your eyes?
Just, what the fuck is this shit?
I was like, shit, I was like, you know, crazy. And I had moose shit all over me. But I had
Moose
to say,
pubes on your.
I had a black craft blanket, which is like a big pentagram, right? It was a small blanket, actually. Black craft, you got to make bigger blankets, by the way. But it was keeping me warm in the fucking snow. But anyways, that shit was full of shit, full of blood. And I think we left everything because besides my drums and the amps and stuff like that. So, we went to the hospital, and they were like, "You guys are from America? Oh, you can't be here, or you have to pay now. You have the money. You each owe $1,500 for riding in the fucking
Moose lane.
The ambulance.
But it was kind of crazy because they gave me a tetanus shot because we were full of shit and blood, and they were like, "You need a tetanus shot," and that was I think $75, but we didn't pay. And sorry, I think the insurance paid. So
then the UFO comes and saves you guys, or what?
no, we were banned actually from we were banned from Enterprise. So they were like, "Oh, oh my God, you guys are that banned," and they were like, "You know what? We'll fill out the paper manually to give you a car because we can't even rent you one because I had rented a van in New York City one time and." Paid for 1 day, and after 21 days, they were like, "Hey, you stole this fucking van." So that was another stolen thing. So we weren't allowed to rent. I'm not allowed to rent anything ever, probably in my life because of this ban. But it was a great adventure, and I almost died. It was pretty good.
Nice. Not a lot of people can say they kissed a moose.
Yeah. She was fine as hell, but she died. I have the kiss of death, I guess.
Here's a question: out of these three things, which one would you give up? You can never have a hot shower again. You can never have hot food again. Or you'd have to walk around with uncomfortable shoes.
Uncomfortable shoes.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the first one that I thought. Fuck that. Like,
Yeah, fuck the uncomfortable shoes.
that
So-
would ruin my life.
So a couple days ago, I just got off the tour, and I was rushing to get here so I could spend more time with my family and to try to get tattooed some more. And I fucking left with slides on and didn't bring any shoes. My son gave me his shoes, but yesterday I went shoe shopping, and no one had fucking size 12. So I was like, oh my God, this is fucking embarrassing, or it's horrible because I've got slides on. It's cold, and I was at Ross, and I fucking found $200 shoes. They were size 10.5. And I fucking made them fit. I fucking folded my fucking toes back, and I put the fucking shoe on. And I was like, "Fuck, these are nice."
Chinese foot binding.
These are nice shoes. I said, I'll suffer for these shoes, but I walked. They were. I was kind of handcuffed because I put both of them on, and I have, and I'm trying to walk with these, but I'm like, shit, it's not gonna work. So I didn't get those. So. I just experienced that yesterday, so I think I'd rather have hot food and a hot shower. Cause on tour, it's kind of hard to take a shower sometimes, especially if you're cold. We're in Canada, and Seattle this last run. So during that whole time,
But how about, a shower? If it's a cold shower, 5 minutes in and out. Where the uncomfortable shoes, you're wearing them all day.
Yeah, I give up the hot shower.
The hot shower?
Yeah, easy.
Wow.
I could do cold showers.
Yeah, easy.
Keep the boner down.
Keep the boner down.
Even in this weather, waking up with it cold, or you just not.
I mean, even I took a cold shower this morning.
Oh, okay, nice.
You know what?
So that's not a fair question for you.
Oh, fucking bullshit.
Here's a fucked up thing.
Hot food? Nobody would give up hot food.
If you think about that, so I was homeless in New York City, and I lived in this crazy place, but it was my last resort because I was like, fuck, I'm living in a trash can, I'm living in a stairwell, I'm frozen, and I get to this place, and I had to go to a mental place, right, first, so they can see how fucking mental I am, because they're like, shit, and they told me, call your mom, go home. But I'm like, it's over. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going there. They're not accepting me back. You know what I mean? I had left my kids and wife and everything, and they said to go pursue your dream. But I was like, shit, this is it. So exactly what you're talking about, cold shower. That's all we had, but like 10 gay dudes, looking at you. Because the place that I went to was like, all the trannies, anything you could have ever imagined, they were all there, and we were like sleeping in this fucking. It was a old military like place, right? But it was like jail. So I was like, fuck. Everything was cold. The fucking food was cold. I had uncomfortable shoes and
You did all three.
I was living the whole fucking thing, and I was like, how the fuck do I get out of here? Because, you know what I mean? I was like taking a shower, and there's like, all these. Whatever is there, like jacking off, and I'm like, wow.
Jacking off in a cold shower?
Yeah, well,
That's brutal.
That's brutal, right?
I didn't even take off my fucking boxers. I was in there with my boxers, just like fucking with a bar of soap, like fucking. Oh my god, it was fucking pretty bad. So yeah, I'd take the fucked up shoes.
Oh,
for
man.
sure.
I think I'd be with Xander and give up the shower.
Xander would give up the shower.
I think so. Yeah, the shoes would kill me.
Yeah, having uncomfortable shoes sucks.
Right?
Like, especially all day you're at work and you get home and it fucking sucks.
Well, living in New York, imagine walking so much, right? So I used to have vans. The fucking vans like just fell up. They would deteriorate, like fucking. They get so loose and then fucking start ripping everywhere, and then fucking have to get some other shoes. I used to get Adidas, the soccer shoes, because I don't know. I guess they use some fucking super glue. That shit it doesn't even lose shape, I guess. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
those guys run like nonstop down the field all day, every day.
Right.
So they
But
gotta
Vans,
withstand.
shit. I guess you're on a skateboard, fucking. But it's crazy.
Yeah, I go through Vans quick. Like they don't last.
They don't last, right? In my life, banging all different kinds of people, and, Japanese or like Chinese women or something like that. When I look at them, I'm like, this is it. You know what I mean? This is a type of alien. You know what I mean? Like their body. You know what I mean? Because there's no ass. It's just like legs. And then no titties, you know what I mean? So it's
Pussy
just
sideways.
yeah. So basically, I think maybe that maybe, in China. Well, so there's also in Antarctica, right? You guys heard about that? There's an underworld, and that's where the aliens live and stuff like that. But that's so close to
Where all the Nazis fled to, and
Right.
all the...
it's just crazy. But when I think about it, because I used to have in New York. There was this guy, his name was Aki, and he was from Japan, and he had a huge fucking scar on his head, which is gnarly, because I was like, damn, like I would always like look at it, and I thought he was an alien because it was just so weird that the time was passing by, but what happened was he had gotten into a car accident and he was relearning everything, right? But we didn't know, so he came to a studio that I was working at. Actually, where the Fugees had a studio, and so it was a church in Brooklyn. And this guy came and he's like, "Oh, I'm looking for a prostitute," you know? But we're like, "What the fuck? Why would you come to church?" You know? And they're like,
why wouldn't you go to?
Yeah.
That's exactly where you go to find them.
"There's no nuns here," and it was a Haitian church
Looking
actually.
for some
so.
altar boys. To...
So they were like, "Well, you got to go down to the park, and in this park there's a bush, and in there's a couple of hoes, and they'll fucking do whatever you want, you know." So
Make
he's
sure
like,
you bring
"Can
them a Diet Coke.
Can you show me?" And we couldn't find one. So but he just wanted to. He wanted a sexual experience, so I was like, "Damn!"
give him
So what I did, I said, when I used to sleep in.
I said, I kissed a moose. Might as well.
This is prior. So you know the boxes where they like the mailboxes that are like the newspaper things, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where they have like whores or whatever. So I used to I would put a quarter in there and then take all of them, and that was my bed. So that was my bed. I would go to the park where the whores were, and I just like lay them down and I just go to sleep, and then wake up the next morning and you know, all the papers they would be flying away. So that's how it would wake.
You'd wake up with $20 in your pocket and like a bad taste in your mouth.
Right. No, I'd wake up because the papers would start flying away. Right. So the papers would fly. And so I remembered that, and I said, "You know what? Why don't we give him the paper?" But the guy was, you know, he only speaks Japanese, and he would ask us about this movie, which I'd never seen, which is, man, it's with Al Pacino. He drives and he's blind. What is that? Scent of a Woman.
Oh.
So he'd be like, "Oh, scent of woman. Oh, scent of woman. Okay." And I'm like, "Okay." But I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" So he's like, he tell me.
Is he saying I smell like a woman? What's he trying to tell me?
So he's like, he has a lawyer. He has all this shit. So he's rich actually. So but we didn't know. So he's like, "You come," and I'm like, "Shit." So now we're in a limo and we go to his lawyer's office. And he's like, "Hey, can you take care of my guy? He had an accident." And I was like, "What?" Like, it's so weird because he trusts you, and he's talking to him in Japanese, and I was like, "Shit, he trusts me." So now I'm gonna help him and just like help him with his daily shit. So basically, there's Groundhog Day, right? So he was living like Groundhog Day. Every day was the same. So he was like, breakfast at the same fucking place, orders the same thing. So I was living in the fucking Groundhog Day, but it was like every night I had to find him prostitutes, and he would put the money on his lap and be like, "Fight, bitches," you know. And he would want both of them to fight for the money. And I was like, I said, "Damn, when do I get paid?" Because like this is stressful to me because he's not sharing. He's just like he's you know, and I have to watch, and I'm just like, damn, this is so nuts to me. But anyways, when I thought about him, I was like, he's an alien because he has all this fucking money in a Louis Vuitton fucking box. You know, the boxes that open up.
Oh yeah.
It was just stacks of fucking money, and he was just like, "Here, go," and fucking go
Scent
to
of woman. Scent of woman.
Yeah. No, but so this is crazy. Why I thought he was an alien? He had a little cube, right? It's a little.
Some unknown element.
No, it was a fucking clear thing, and
And he had a 3-liter of Diet Coke from 19.
it was this big, right?
You get that?
It looked like an iPod, those back in the day, you know?
The little shuffles or
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever the fuck, this big, right? And this shit went into a TV screen like that, like shh, and it was clear. And then he'd show me the movies, and he'd play Oasis, I think, right? How many other people change? Whatever fuck song that was. So he played guitar. We'd watch Scent of a Woman. And it was actually this is exactly what the couch looked like at his house.
I think I see the Diet Coke scenes right there, actually.
Is this the fucking actual table? It looks the same. But had the same thing, and he had this thing, and and if I would look away, he'd be like, "Oh," and hit you, and be like, "Watch," and I'd be like, "Shit." And I'd continue to watch it, and then it'd be over.
Mr. Miyagi, watch the movie.
And then we'd go downstairs. He bought me a coat. I didn't have a coat at the time because fucking, you know, I'm from
So
a
what's
past.
this? So describe what's this thing again that he has?
So it's a little square, but it was clear, and it opened up into it was like a piece of plastic, and he would just touch it and then like, and go back into like a little thing. So I was like, where the fuck did he get this? I was like, this is like new technology. Like I had a fucking flip phone then. So I was like, what is this? Where is this guy from? Because he had this shit. And so anyways, I said, stop spending money on prostitutes. You can get some. You can get a girl. I'll hook you up. So I took him bar hopping, which is bad because he didn't drink before, and now this motherfucker, he loved the wine. He saw these people that were fancy and with their wine cups and shit, but he's like, like what is this, you know? And he got their shit, he got their cup and just like took it. They're like, hey, you motherfucker, don't fucking, that's my shit. And he's like, oh, shut up. Like he's
Sensitive woman.
So sorry, so sensitive woman.
No, he would say, shut up. Like, you know what I mean? And they were like, oh, fuck. So anyhow, he told the bartender, buy him a bottle. Like bought the whole bottle of wine because he took their glass and he got the thing and threw it on the floor. I was like, damn, this guy's violent. But it was the wine, you know? So he had bought me this fluffy fucking, you know, I look like a fucking marshmallow man with this fucking jacket. And there was a girl and she was fine. But anyways, I would go to this place and so she sat on my lap and she was like, oh, like, you know what I mean? Like,
fight all the time.
she was like, let's go to my place. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I have to take care of this guy. Like I'm his bodyguard, right? That's what I was tell everybody. And he was like, mine, you know what I mean? Like and then he pulls out a wad and he's like, here. Now.
You guys fight for it.
Now. He's like, now. And I was like, damn. Now, what do you? I was like, no, she's not a prostitute. You can't.
You can't do that.
And he's like, huh. And he was like, no. And I was like, dude, like, I'm sorry. Like, this girl was like, what the fuck's going on? Don't touch me. You know what I mean? Like,
Me love you long time. Me so horny.
so what happened was, so I had the marshmallow suit on, right? And he got so pissed because the girl wouldn't go with him. And usually when you pull out the money, we're leaving and they're doing whatever you want with money. So I said, bro, you can't. And he got so mad and he grabbed the coat. But I just came out of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he pulled it. But my phone, I had just gotten a new cell phone, which I was like, fuck, I can't lose this. But he ran outside with my coat. And I was like, what the fuck? What is he doing? You know? He's crazy, but he wanted to fight me.
That's when you saw him go up into the spaceship.
We pulled out that.
We would,
little
what's
thing.
it called? We would actually,
Finger lit up.
part of our day was, he was actually a Buddhist and he kind of taught me how to like manifest things. Like he was like, he would write it down, like, what do you want? And I wanted a drum set that was like a drum set that had flames on it. And so, and I would go show it to him, but he knew what I want, right? But when we were doing Nam Yorong Yoke, like, we were doing it for hours and then fucking, like, so right here where you get a boxer fracture, we'd go to Brooklyn somewhere at a certain wall. I felt like I was Rocky or something, but we would just hit the wall with that part because he was like, never hit anybody with your fists. You'd hit him with this right here or this, and so I had a fucking massive muscle right here. So after doing that I think I was with him for 6 months, you know, and so this was the last fight. So he took off my marshmallow suit, and I went to the street because I was like, fuck, my cell phone is in the big pocket. And he got the jacket and threw it, and I see the phone fly, and I see a car, and crushes my thing. And I said, oh, you motherfucker, because he is smaller than me. So I thought, I'm going to fucking just choke him and kill him, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But this motherfucker comes with the fucking kung fu fucking, jumps in the air and gets like right to my face. His foot's like right here, and I hit his foot because I'm a drummer, so I got this fucking excellent reflex, right? So I was like, boom, and he fucking flipped and fell down, and he was like, oh, I call police. You hit me. And he started crying. Like, oh, he hit me, oh. And I was like, I didn't hit you, motherfucker. So we heard sirens. So after that, we hear sirens. And I've never seen this guy run so fast, but he just ran. So I was like, shit. where did he run to? Because I've been working for him, but he would give me the change for going to the store all the time. So I had tons of money because he was just like, you keep it. And I was like, okay.
You had so much Japanese yen.
So I'm good. Another bad shit is that I had a girlfriend that's where I would go to sleep back to my girlfriend's house and then count the money from all the change. You know what I mean? But when he came over one day, she had perfect eyes, I guess, and she saw fucking like a something jump off of him or something, and she was like, "What the fuck? Did you bring fucking bugs to my house?"
Fleas or what?
He had something, but anyways, this motherfucker, he was so rich that he bought her all brand new furniture and brand new carpet. Like they had a carpet company come, and she was like, "Don't ever bring him here again." And so, anyways, the lawyer calls the church because that's if you can't reach my cell phone, and they called the church and they're like, "Hey, there's a limo outside of the church right now. Can you please get in there and come down to Manhattan?" So I get in there, go there. He's there, and he has a black eye though, right? Because he fell on the floor and hit his face, and he had like a scratch and a big black eye, and he was like, looked at me, and he was like, "Listen, we want to give you 10 grand to not press charges on him for him assaulting you." Because we know because the bar called and said he assaulted me, and they were trying to get him, and I had to sign an affidavit. But I was like, 10 grand. I said, what the fuck is that gonna do? He never paid me for fucking. I've been with him for 6 weeks or something, you know. I said, and they're like, okay, how about 100 grand? And they filled out a fucking check for like 100 grand. I was like, holy fuck, I've never had this much money. How will I cash it? And then I didn't have a bank or nothing, and so that check,
I traded it to a prostitute.
no, I gave it to my girlfriend, and I said, "Fuck," you know what I mean? Like, can you cash it? She wouldn't cash it, and that was it. But altogether, with all the change from going,
She's like, "No, I couldn't cash it, but I'll see you later." Never saw her.
No, I wanted to. Hey, Jill. You owe me some money. No.
Where are you? I'm in New York.
No, but anyways, it was fucked up. But she was like, don't. He has the money but anyways, I think we had collected from change in 6 weeks, maybe like 60 grand because he was just like, he would give me like $500 and be like, "Potato, go now," and I'd be like, "Fuck, okay." Come back with a big ass bag of potatoes, $2.99. I'm like, "Here's your change." "No, you'll keep it." And I'm like, "Oh shit!" But anyways, he was God bless him.
What would he do with the potatoes?
I would make him fucking. I'd make him round potato French fries. And he loved
tater tots.
He loved eggs. So he would before he I thought he was an alien because he would like get the eggs and just like crack it and eat it and just like swallow
Eat
it
with the shell.
And I'm like, dude, I said, let me. So I bought oil, and he was like, oh, and I'm like,
I've never seen a cooked egg before. Oh,
and so I fucking make him some food. I made him huevos rancheros. He was like, oh, go now, same. And so I would always make. But anyways, I saved him so much money making fucking ranch eggs and fucking. That's what he would call them because he couldn't speak Spanish. But yeah, I mean, I think he had the most sex out of anybody that I've ever known. Because by the end of the night, you know, we'd gone through like once I showed him that paper, I'd have to call every number and they'd come in one by one, like one here you go. He'd bang them. Another one would come in, hello. So every night it was crazy. But I also took him to the strip club and he didn't like that though, because he was like they were naked already. He's like, no. Where's the clothes? I want to see them in clothes. And then I make them fucking, take off their clothes. So he didn't like that shit. So.
Oh, it's interesting, right? That's a good one.
Yeah, his name was Aki. I don't know if he's still alive. But anyways, it was so weird.
Aliens live to be like 1,000 years old, right?
Yeah, he probably was, yeah. But his eyes, it was just so crazy. And that fucking, that nanopod, whatever the fuck that was.
It's still out there somewhere.
I wanted to take it. I really did, because I was like, shit, what could, you know what I mean? Like, I need to show this to somebody, because I would tell people,
Show this to the
and
CIA.
they're like, dude,
We watch Forrest Gump Part 2 on this all the time.
It has the Beatles' Lost album and when Paul McCartney, John Lennon never died.
No, but this is before, I think even iPads or something, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, what the fuck? And he had a whole catalog of all this stuff. And I was like, how do you have this? Like,
Hey, he's got to be an alien, right? He had that, but he didn't know how to cook an egg. Like,
yeah, but he loved it. He loved being like cooked for, which is crazy. Even at the restaurants where we'd go, he'd be like looking at them cook. You know what I mean?
like an alien, all fascinated. Ooh.
So we'd sit on like the bar, and that's where they're cooking or something, and he'd just be like, look, but back then at a diner, like they have like 1,000 pounds of potatoes, like they're cooking for everybody. So he was just like, oh, potato.
Yeah, because he knows string theory, mathematics, but he had never seen a potato.
When I showed, what's fucked up? I bought at the dollar store. I bought a cheese grater. But he's like looking at it like, what the fuck is this, And
trying to press buttons on it.
I'm like cutting the potato, and he's like, because it's like coming out,
So he's on some planet right now with a cheese grater.
And everyone's like, oh.
What'd you get from
He wins
Earth?
the Nobel Prize for hash browns.
And ranchero eggs. There's some planet somewhere with all these aliens travel the universe, and they all come back with information. And this guy's there with a cheese grater potato.
Right now, he's the priest at an alien church, and when they come up and stick their tongue out, he puts a little slice of potato on their tongue.
What do they say when they do that? My son, eateth thy potato.
My flesh.
This is my blood, semen, and then fucking the potato.
This is my flesh, the potato, and this is my blood. It's Diet Coke.
By the way, guys, I'm going to hell. I'm sorry. That's what I'm gonna look like when I, right there, this picture right here. When I'm not here, I'll be looking like that. But I hope not. I hope to live like that alien 1,000 years. So, which I have. My mom just told my new son-in-law. His name's Andy, and she said, my son has 9 lives. Almost got killed by a moose. I died. I died last year. When did I die? I died actually last year, January 29th. One of my neighbors gave me fentanyl.
Oh.
And I turned blue, and I was foaming of the mouth. And I woke up to 5 firefighters. I had 3 Narcans. They hit me with 3 Narcans. And the police was there. And I thought, shit, I'm going to jail, because, and they said, call the coroner, and I got up like Michael, like fucking, like I was like,
Undertaker just to sit up.
No, I jumped up, and I fucking, where my weed was, because I was smoking and stuff, and I had a scale where I scaled my weed and stuff. I fucking pushed everything. They're like, sir, sit down, and I was like. And they pulled up a little chair, and they're like, what's your social security number? And I knew it. And so they're like, oh, he's fine. He's fine. And then they got
and then what's your credit card number? And what's your
right? No, so they put some things on me, check my heart, but they're like, sir, you had a heart attack. You should go to the hospital. But I was like, fuck no, I'm not. It was COVID, So they couldn't give me mouth to mouth. And so besides that, after that, like 2 months later, I went to the Rainbow Bar, and TMZ was there. So they were like, bro, they're my friends. And MGK's management was there, and all these people that was like, oh, man, we seen your band, dope, blah, blah, blah. And my boy, he was like, he's saying that I'm buying them shots. So they thought, shit, he's fucking rich. So he buys $2,000 worth of fucking Patron, because there was like 30 people, and so they come with this big-ass tray, and we're just drinking, and most people didn't drink, so there was just so much, so we were drinking, and the TMZ guy was like, yo, taking pictures, and the dude was like, don't fucking take pictures of him. I'm his bodyguard, but I was like, oh, fuck.
Was he wearing a white puffy jacket?
No.
You know, take a picture.
You no take picture. So fucking. So what happened? We got into the car, and this guy fucking. He was talking on the phone to his girl, and he's saying, "Fuck, I'll do what I want. You don't control me or some shit," and it crashed into a fucking pole, smashed my fucking face, my whole face. I looked like fucking, like the picture right there, the red.
I had moose hair right here. For
My
some
whole
reason.
face was cut off. It was fucked up. And then so we were with the guy from Nine Inch Nails. He was a keyboard player from back in the day, and he was in the back of the car, and he was bald, and he had a mohawk of a cut. You know, because his head, he went forward and he caught the fucking.
Just fucking.
It was crazy. But anyways, that guy, the other guy ran, and the guy from Nine Inch Nails, he put me on his back and fucking walked
on
me.
his shoulders.
He's a massive dude, yeah. So he put me on his back and plugged in my phone at the gas station, called my emergency contact, got an Uber, picked me up. So the guy ran away. From the car crash, and we ran away too. I was asleep for 2 weeks because it was so fucked up. You know what I mean? And I broke my back and my neck. So that was like right after dying. Now I have a fucking broken neck, broken back, and so. But what was crazy? I had scoliosis my whole life. I used to be a hunchback, and now I'm a taller guy, and I'm straight. Like my back every day it cracks. And before I was just like Igor, or whatever. But now I get more phone numbers, and people think I'm more attractive because I'm taller, and I'm just joking. But I am. It did straighten out my back when I went to the hospital. They're like, "Holy shit, what's all this shit in your?"
What's all this shit?
It was calcium decay that it exploded, and so it's like in my body, but it's just like So before I was just that's why I like the Elephant Man, which I have him right here. Yeah, so I used to think I looked like him, and now I have to fucking get black him out or something because fucking I
Put
don't.
the Asian dude right there instead.
Aki. No, he's gonna go on this side. Right here.
Is that what they told you at the hospital? Like some Japanese man came and did the surgery.
Paid for all your bills and did the surgery.
His name was Aki.
And then just went off into the sky.
He said if he had any potatoes,
He says he owes you a
potato now.
Yeah. Says this man too important to die. His potatoes are.
Yeah. So
It's
in the past couple of years, I've had a couple times. So it's pretty amazing. You here for the orgy?
I wish.